Okay. No idea what happened. The moment that I clicked, so there was a pop-up that said OBS crashed. But I was like, that can't be possible because we're still live and we're still good. So I click out of the pop-up and OBS closes. Like the entire thing closes. It doesn't crash. Like the entire the entirety of OBS just closes. No noises, just closes. So I think we were fine so long as I didn't literally interact with the pop-up. But I interacted with the pop-up. So we crashed. That's weird. I clicked into a crash. You may have. Load bearing pop-up. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this shit. Okay, Spot, do you like tea? I do like tea, but I like sweet tea. I don't like regular tea. Like a moth to a flame, like a grandpa clicking scam ads. Alright, so we back? So we back in the mines? Are we back, everyone? Ladies and gentlemen, are we back? Oh, Viper, you missed basically all the power scaling for Najarala. And because we finished it. You also missed, we got a little interaction with, what's the conclusion? So, basically, we came to the conclusion that, Najarala is, like, the top of mid-tier monsters and can even beat and go band for band with certain Apex monsters given the matchup. And I gave the example of, like, Bragadios, horrible matchup for him. Gore, horrible matchup for him. But, like, Odogron is a great matchup for legit Chris. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why I said that. Spot, how much do you bench? I bench 1 Q-tip. I'm just kidding. I bench the fucking sun! Fellas, I think I'm late. Hello, R3. Yes, you are, in fact, late. But, we kind of got a little bit raided by Mari. We checked out one of her videos, and then she came to my chat. And then as I was like, hey, you should go check out Dead Upon Mari, she was live. And so, I went to her thing. And she was saying that she was thankful that I was watching it, and that's cool and stuff. And Art gave her 20 bucks. I told Art to give her $100, and I said that's a joke, and then he said BRB, and I was like, oh no, and then he gave her 20 bucks. So you are planetary? No, I'm star level, Factorious. If I can bench the sun, I am star level. Unless there's planets. A classic, yes sir. And, ooh, wait, this is kind of a little awkward. But I kind of, not promised, but I kind of told them that I was going to show them a little something that that was in the works. Do you hunters still want to see that? Yes or no? Sun level, why not cosmic level? What would you say is the best version of the bow guns? It's hard to say because it kind of depends on like what you define as the best. But I really like Rise and Sunbreak. I really like Rise and Sunbreak and stuff. I mean, your opinion, it might have to be Rise and Sunbreak. I didn't actually get too... I mean, it might be the Hunter Arts because I never got super into the Hunter Arts. But at the same time, I really like special ammo for the bow guns. I really like special ammo. They don't have that anymore. It made every single bow gun, like, very unique. Not every single, but it made a lot of the bow guns unique. Hello, X-Men! So, I was going to show them Viper, and since you're here, I guess I can ask you. Because, to be fair, it is your thing, so... I was going to show them all of it. I was just going to show them a little piece of the storyboard that you did. The first piece. I was late? No, you're fine, Viper. I was going to show them the first piece because now we have 20 people, but we had like 12 people at one point when we had like 30 people. So it's like, hey, for you 12 people who want to stay in, how about a little treat? You get to have a small little sneak peek at what what's kind of being worked on. I'm only going to show, I would only show them the one, like the beginning. I would show them basically the beginning storyboard. I told them it's not the end all be all, but it could be like a little interesting, like a, you know, a little morsel to kind of snack on for always being, you know, in here. I don't know how much of a good idea that is. I mean, it doesn't spoil everything. I mean, it doesn't really spoil too much. And it's not even the final product. I thought it to you for me. I've always loved using Valor Greatsword. It's so satisfying to use once you get used to it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I forgot what it's called. I forgot what it was called. But, like, Crystal is using the Greatsword in GU. And she has this, like, hunter art that, like, whenever she, like, gets hit, she doesn't get hit. And instead, like, counters with, like, a very strong attack. And I'm like, motherfucker, that's, like, something I get with heavy bowgun in Sunbreak. What do you mean you already had that in GU? So, like, a lot of the time she would normally get hit. She just doesn't get hit. And it's like, bro, you're playing on easy mode, please. If I were you, I'd leave it for the thing itself. You know, yeah, I guess you're right. Because while I don't think you guys would, like, do this, there is a chance that one of you could, like, screenshot the thing, and then it spreads, and then now it kind of gets out of hand. I'm not saying you guys would do that, but I guess the possibility of that happening is there. And I kind of want this to be special, so never mind. I guess you guys could just be, like, informed that there is storyboards being made for something that we have going on. And it will be peak. Tell us a story instead. Maybe we can go with some spottable lore. Oh, you also missed some spottable lore, Viper. You missed, some snake. You missed some Viper spottable lore. You missed some snake spottable lore. Is it a show? I will say it is not a show. But it is a step up to what I would normally be doing. I'm basically doing higher production for certain videos I was doing. That's a cry. I have a little question. What if we got a Rumpopolo subspecies for the Skyborn area that makes wind geysers that you can use to do air attacks? That would be cool. But you kind of are just kind of explaining Ibushi at that point. Is GU the one with Deviant? Or am I misremembering? Yes, Generations and Generations Ultimate, which is GU, are the ones with Deviants. What about Rise? What about Rise? They're not Deviants. They're considered Apexes. So, interesting. How do I say? I'm not sure what else to. I might have to get GU and for you now. Yes, sir. Some spottable lore. Well, you know what? I gave you guys free spottable lore. I'm not gonna do it a second time. Instead, we're gonna watch a video. It's like, another video! Yes, another video. But spottable. Another video, yes. This one's like 40 minutes. And I'm not gonna lie. It does somewhat have to do with my channel in some abstract way. Wishing all are perfect fit for a sentence, seeing it in the air, and coping for not sleeping. Is the wheel still a thing? Yes, the wheel is still a thing. $5 and I spin the wheel. Holy buzz. What the f... Ah, yes. The VTuber. Ah, yes. The rodent. I don't know why that's like the first thing.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, yo, ABD with the $10. Thank you. Shall we test our luck? You know what? We like a bit of gambling. We like a bit of gambling, huh, hunters? We like a little bit of gamba. WABD for the $10, by the way. Everyone say W. Alright, well, I didn't have the wheel up, so let me go get the wheel. Let me get the wheel. Let me get the wheel. Put it all on green. Put it all on green? So you want it all on hot take? Alright, we'll put it all on hot take. So we get 2 spins. 2 spins. I'm really excited if Kuropeko comes back to Ascendance. I feel like in theory gave that new Jetbird monster. I would love for Kuropeko to come back to Wilds. Dang, wrong wheel. I'm sure if you ask Tiger nicely, he'll give you the OG wheel. Okay, fuck it. Alright, everyone. Let's spin. Oh! Alright. We get some spottable lore. And then... let's see. Nothing. Wow. Hello, gnarly. Hey, the wheel can't be all pleasure. You gotta have a chance to lose, baby. They did say bet it on green. That's what you get. Sound a little girly there? What do you mean I didn't sound a little girly? I didn't sound a little girly. What are you talking about? Pleasure? All right. Did I tell you guys the time that I almost got bitten by a pirate spider? I got jump scare and almost bitten into by a pirate spider. Did I ever tell you guys that one? And I still won. Yay! I mean, you got a lure. A what spider? A pirate spider. Oh, that's not the actual name. That's the nickname of the spider. Which, by the way, I don't think it would have done anything to me, but I was in like 1st or 2nd grade when this happened, so. Did it have a peg leg? It didn't just have 1 peg leg. It had 8 peg legs. Was the spider looking for buried treasure? Nope, but it almost got my booty. Swallow was on the sea, and a pirate spider tried to bite. So I'm assuming you guys, I haven't told this one. You guys don't know. I'm assuming. Okay. You said the mantis one? Oh yeah, the mantis one. No, that's not that bad. I have been bitten by worse. Oh no, getting bitten by a pirate spider isn't really bad at all. But, you know what? Here, I'll just tell you it, right? It's like the garter snake story. It's like, if I would have been bitten by the garter snake, I wouldn't have been in trouble. Like, I would have been okay. But it's still, like, freaky that I could have gotten bit. Are they venomous at all? Yes, they are. Okay. So this story takes place at my old elementary school. Alright, my old elementary school. Spottable, what elementary school? I'm not gonna say that. But it takes place in my elementary school. And I was in 1st or 2nd grade. I can't remember exactly which one. So, I often would go outside during recess to look at bugs. To look at snails, to look at roly-polies, to look at millipedes. I just loved looking at bugs. And I still do. Like your school pal, I want my child to be like... IP of the school? Yes, can you give me the exact address and coordinates of your school? So, I was looking at bugs, right? Because I like looking at bugs. I still do. And there was this big tree. That always had some insects on it. But it also specifically had my favorite insect. The weevil beetle. And more specifically, it is called the... I don't want to butcher the name. Let me... Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, see, I knew that's what it was called. Here we go. Here it is. Here it is. Can I look at this on a different screen, please? Fucking open up a different tab. Oh, open up a different tab. Yep. This is my favorite insect. This is my favorite insect. It's like, but where's the big nose, Spottable? I'm sorry, he doesn't have a big nose. What in the light 10? Why is it so pale? Because he's goated, that's why, okay? Don't judge me. Anyways, I'm sorry, you can judge me, but don't judge him. He's fine. He's perfect. Bro got the landlord special. Anyways, those weevils would be all over this one tree. You would just see this tree with white specks moving all across it. I loved seeing it. Right? It's funny that you say that's Spottable, because as a kid, I split my ring finger. Damn, my ring finger. And I had to stitch it up at the hospital when I was lifting huge rocks for bugs as a kid. Damn, sorry to hear that happen to you, Brody. Damn, Slick. That's not funny. That's not funny. Anyways, stop distracting me, okay? I gotta get on to with the story. You want the Spottable lore or not? You can't keep on distracting me. So I go up to this big tree that always has my favorite little weevil beetles, alright? My little white amigos, if you will. And I'm looking at them, I'm enjoying them, right? I even grab one, I put it on my finger, it starts moving around, and then it stops. I'm like, okay, and then I take him off my finger, and I put him back onto the tree. And then there was this one weevil that was climbing up this branch. And I was like, ooh, right? And this branch was actually close enough to the ground where even little old me, you know, first grader, second grader, could like tippy toe and just barely grab it, right? Now here's the thing. Here is the reason why I wanted to grab it and look at the weevil. Because I saw the weevil beetle go underneath a leaf. Or technically, it was on top of a leaf. Because I was under the leaf. So it was technically on top of the leaf. But I didn't see it move. Like, I didn't see the weevil move away from the leaf. Like, it, went to the leaf and disappeared. And so, obviously, that got me curious, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that got me curious. Oh, so hello, Bracky. I didn't see you because my fucking chat paused. Hello, Bracky. I'm on my break. W. You missed quite a bit, Bracky. I'm not gonna hold you. But, we're doing some Spottable lore. We're doing some Spottable lore, Bracky. ABD, maybe spin the wheel, and we got some Spottable lore. So, I see the weevil beetle. And I'm like, okay, I know it hasn't moved. I've been staring at this leaf for like the longest time. It's probably been like a minute. But I've been staring at this for like the longest time. My little beetle friend, he hasn't moved. Is he still on the leaf? So I tippy toe and I grab the stem. Right? The stem of the branch. And I'm like trying to pull it closer to me, right? I'm trying to pull it closer to me. And so I pull it close to me, but I still didn't flip it over. And then I flip over the leaf. And what I expected was a white little weevil beetle. That's not what I got. Instead, what I got was a translucent green pirate spider moving to crawl up on my finger. I let go of that branch immediately. Freaked me the fuck out. Show the spider. You know what? Maybe I can try finding a image of the spider. Maybe I can find an image of the spider. Freaked me the hell out. Like, really freaked me out. And that thing got flung. Because I was, like, kind of bending the branch to, like, so I could pull it towards my face. because I wanted to see the weevil beetle. And when I flipped it over to the spider, I let go of that branch immediately. Flung whatever was on that leaf, probably like up the tree or somewhere. That bit is not on that leaf, I guarantee you. After that, what happened to what I did to it. Which, I mean, I didn't do anything crazy to it, but you know. Sounds like sounds like a pretty spider. It kind of was, but it also scared the hell out of me. Green see-through with the Flying Dutchman spider. I'm trying to find it. Ah, it was this. Can I like turn this image around? This is like almost exactly what I saw. Can I turn this image like upside down or something? Can I like, bro, okay, whatever. You guys are just gonna have to like deal with this. This isn't exactly how I remember it, but this is 100% the spider that I saw. This creepy motherfucker. Window alt up. Oh. Window up. Don't know what the fuck I just did. Or, oh, is it older shit? I forgot. He got my shit all fucked up now. He got my shit all fucked up, man. I'm just kidding. All I had to do was just, like, minimize it again. This is what I saw. Now, these spiders are not big at all. That's why it was able to stay on the leaf, and I wasn't able to see its legs or anything. What I'm curious is, how did this thing... I swear I was looking at this weevil beetle. Either this weevil beetle went invisible, disappeared into the back rooms, or something. Because I flipped over that leaf, no weevil beetle. This guy instead. So, I was expecting this, got this. I was expecting this, got this. And as a first grader, scared the piss out of me. Well, got a dip because of work, bye. Okay, bye, BD, bye-bye. Got catfished by a damaged spider? I actually did. That's crazy. But that is the story time. That is the story time for you all. Now, who's ready to watch? God, that fucking thumbnail keeps on flashbanging me every time I see it. Who's ready for a versus matchup? Who's ready for a dinosaur versus matchup? Now you should show that teaser. What teaser? Teaser. Talking about the storyboard? I thought you literally told me not to do it. You're like, me personally, I wouldn't do it. Literally. Are you saying that because there's not as many people in? Are you saying there's not as many people in, so maybe we could do it? Is that what you're saying? Yes, but Bracky is here. This fucking guy. This fucking guy. He changed his mind. Yes, he did. I mean, sure. Sure. Are you guys still down to see a little part of the storyboard? Again, I would only be showing you like the first part of a storyboard, but it is you can at least glean something from this. Like, it's not useless just to see and you're like, okay, I still don't understand what the fuck's going on. Yes, please. All right. Ready? It's a good teaser, even if it's not meant to be. Yeah, it's the teaser for the teaser. Funny enough. That's a funny way to think of it. Alright. Now, I do want to say this. This is only for you guys, okay? Don't be screenshotting this and then sharing it across all platforms or whatever. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Quite frankly, I'm just not big enough and no one will really care. But I'm basically just saying, like, you know, like, don't just be sharing it to, like, everyone. This is for you guys, because you guys are cool. You guys are always in stream. You guys stick with me. It's a little treat for you, okay? Can I get an okay? Can I get a yes? Can I get something, please? Shout out to the author. Shout out, Viper. But yes, shout out to the thing. Okay, yes, sometimes take your time. Okay. Promise, here we go. Here is the first part of the storyboard. The first part. There's about 3 parts. So, fade in, pan around and reveal, slow spin, sound and cut to source with Zinogre stepping, cut to back view, seamless fade, back cover stone, cam goes up, reverse a prior shot, stone sound, eyes open. A little tease, if you may say, a little tease. Now, it's like, SpongeBob, isn't this really rough? It's like, that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be a rough draft. It's a storyboard. A storyboard, but, oh my goodness, who is that? Who's that in the top left? Oh my goodness. Is that Viper? Yes, storyboard, in case you missed it, was made by Viper. What is that thing on the bottom left? Well, good question. I don't know. Good question. What is that thing at the bottom left? I guess you're just supposed to wait and find out. Whoever made this is very talented. I'd love to meet him. My power may go out. Ooh, that's not very bueno. Hopefully it doesn't. Let's all pray it doesn't. But yes, this is the first part, and there's about 3 parts. Sorry if I leave early. No, you're okay. Bracky quit the glaze. No, I can't handle more waiting. Bro, you guys are gonna wait, okay? I teased this thing like months ago. And to be fair, I have not been ever since I teased it, I've been working on other videos, and I did not even start working on the video I was teasing. But things are in the work. I've done Zinogre power scaling, and I'm currently doing the power scaling for the bottom left thing. And all I gotta say is, it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy. It's my boy, insert spoiler monster here, from insert specific game here. It's 106 where you are, holy crap. Yeah, but that's, you know, it's nothing good. It's just, that's just heat. You know what I'm saying? That's hot air. The hot air is nice and not really relaxing, but it's nice. I didn't study photography for nothing, yay. And given the looks of the mysterious near the bottom panel, my guess it's likely a mysterious fanged wyvern. Fanged wyvern is actually pretty damn close. I'm not gonna lie. If this thing were to be given a Monster Hunter like category, it would either be Fanged Beast. Well, okay, would it be Fanged Beast, Fanged Wyvern, or Elder Dragon? That's a good question. What would it be? I think it would actually not be Fanged Wyvern, but instead be a Fanged Beast, because it actually doesn't have any scales. Zinogre and all the Fanged Wyverns have scales. Meanwhile, Fanged Beasts don't. They're, like, way more, like bears and, like, mammals and shit. I'm not saying that technically they don't give birth to, like, actual mammals. Like, well, I guess not. But, like, you know what I mean, right? But considering it also uses magic... Wait, quick question. What is Behemoth considered in Monster Hunter? Is it considered an Elder Dragon? Question. Is considered Elder? Yes, so you would probably consider this thing an Elder Dragon. However, you would consider... yes, you would consider this thing, both this version and the other version, an Elder Dragon. However, if you weren't to say an Elder Dragon, you would probably say it's a Fanged Beast then. Think about it like this. Think about it like how Dalamadur is like a Stink Wyvern, but it's considered an Elder Dragon, right? Because it's an Elder Dragon. The Carcos is like a Cephalopod, but it's an Elder Dragon. This thing is an Elder Dragon, but you would probably consider it a Fanged Beast. The face looks canine-like, almost. That's a very interesting observation. That could be correct. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. What is the storyboard? Well, it's the storyboard. It's a storyboard for something that I've been planning for a while. And I've made 2 community posts about it. So if you haven't seen that, well, don't blame me. The blue one is the beast. This one is like a rare species. No. Well, Viper, you don't know the lore behind this creature, so if you knew the lore, you would understand why I'm saying it the way I'm saying it. Is it a Cantor? Guys, you got me. It's a Cantor. I've made my research. You didn't fucking do research enough. No, sir. If Behemoth is considered an Elder Dragon, this guy, even the blue version, would be considered an Elder Dragon. Is it a Cantor? That's still really funny. Yo, it's Tigrex! Yo, it is Tigrex. Congratulations. Oh, from looks alone, I meant. Oh, from looks alone, yes. But I'm saying what it would most likely actually be categorized as. But looks alone, yes, you would say beast. Okay. So, may I ask what the hell you guys are cooking up? Well, I mean, if you paid attention to the community post and pay attention to when we were talking about Zinogre last time, I don't know. Maybe you've already known. Art already knows. 100% Art already knows. Guys, it's obviously Marathon. Is it Boogie Pookie? It might be Boogie Pookie. This looks pretty much like Boogie Pookie. New rare species. Devil Boogie Pookie. Oh, my bad, guys. It's me. I love every time I leave and come back, I get a pop quiz. I'm a Monster Hunter. I don't pay attention. Guys, don't mess with Monster Hunter fans. We can't read. We don't pay attention. We don't have long attention spans. I will say this, Viper, you went way harder on the storyboards than I thought you were. I didn't even think you were going to add color. I thought you were going to add, like, very mute shading and color. Well, I guess you kind of already did. But, like, I was thinking, like, black, white, maybe some red. Black, white, gray, and red. That's all I thought you were gonna do. This man went up and beyond. So are you motherfuckers making your own OC? Ebony Odogron, but edgy. Ebony Odogron's already edgy, but kind of. I will say this. This thing that I'm doing, this guy over here on the bottom left is the first. I feel like I'm getting bit by an ant. What the hell is happening on my hand? That was weird. Will be the first type of video I do. Not the first type, but the first, how do I say this? The first time I do something like this. I will have to do something special for the guy at the bottom left. Is that Zeno? Okay. It's clearly a very powerful spider dog. It's Stygian Zenogre. I'm done playing around. Or a different version of it. What are you talking about? Talking about this guy? Or are you talking about this guy? I'm talking about top right or bottom left? It's going to be a new dynamic for a video. It will be. Because normally, I do animal versus animal. And I treat them as animal versus animal. This one, I'm going to have to tweak a bit. It can still be the same premise of animal versus animal. Because, to be fair, this thing on the bottom left is still an animal. But it's very clearly not just, like, an animal, and if that makes sense. It's a nice break from stocking 6 to 7 Christmas tree ornaments. Yes, we actually have those where animal. Yes, animal in very big quotations. Top right. Yes, top right. Ooh, what is this, guys? Who is this? Can you guys guess who this is? Who is this? This on the top right. Who is this? They're literally a 6-7 meme ornament at the store. I'm not joking. Damn. 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. And is it also a plant? Are you talking about this thing? Dragon, are you talking about, is this thing also a plant? This thing right here. Are you talking about, is this also a plant? It's not Devil Joe. You're right, Lonely. It is not Devil Joe. Dragon, that is a really good guess. But not quite. But a phenomenal guess. I'm gonna say you're like almost there. If only I was good enough to draw that you guys could identify what I drew. Don't worry, I'm not actually stalking that section. I work primarily in the fall section, but I did see it. It has roots and stuff on its eyes. Root, you say? That's a very interesting word to say. Root. Very Those legs look like Zoshia. Are you talking about this? You talking about this? Maybe mushrooms or root-based fanged beast. The bottom creature is giving me SCP-682 vibes. Oh, what? Okay, guys, what monster is this? The monster I'm showing on the screen, what monster is this? What monster is this? It's Stygian Lunagarin. Wow, Art, you're almost there. It's me. It is not you. It is not a Latreon. It's Zenogre. What kind of Zenogre? It's purple Ludroth. Oh fuck. That's oh fuck. Oh my god. What oh my god. It's Nightshade Palumu. Stygian Zenogre from the looks of it. Yes. Slick actually got it. It is Stygian Zenogre. Guardian Zenogre. That's a cool idea. Don't know if no. It is Stygian Zenogre. You can see by the color palette and the little red dots that are coming off him, and the red little things here. This is Stygian Zinogre. Milk puppy. Oh, I got it. It's Ruster Emperos. Stygian is cloaked against whatever the other thing is. I don't know. That's a good, I don't know. That's why I do the power scaling and you guys enjoy the video. Is it Kushala? I thought we already ruled that out. We did not rule out Stygian and Ogre. What? We did not do that. At least Stygian isn't a doe. That is true. Although there's caveats with the doe. I have to explain it. That's why this thing over here, low key, its section is going to be different from any other section I've done with another monster. Anyways, I gotta go back to work. My break is almost over. Bye, guys. Okay, bye, Brecky. Everyone say bye. Ooh, and what is that? What's that thing on its back? Interesting. Homie. Alright. I hope you guys enjoyed this little sneak peek. Did you guys enjoy this? Yes or no? Thinks he's the confluence of fate. Yes, very much. Yes, I did. Good. Is it right? Dragon, shut up. Shut up. Everyone, can I get in the chat some W's for Viper for making this wonderful storyboard? Again, this is only a third of the storyboard. There's way more to it. But can we get some W's for Viper? My Viper. Some W's in the chat for my Viper. I named the Najarala Jeremy Onion. Okay. Now who wants to see the rest? No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. Wait, is it Viper? You got him. It's actually Viper. It's Viper in wolf clothing. It's The Witcher. An estimation of how long for more on this? What do you mean? That's kind of a little vague. I'm not sure what you are specifically referring to. Is it Sonic the Hedgehog? Dragon, stop guessing. As in more content about it. About the storyboard? About the video? About showing the story? What do you mean, Viper? Oh, the project. Oh, as in, like, how much more content about... Wait, like, how much more am I going to talk about it? Or how much is there left for me to do on the project? Is that what you mean? Give me... Oh, my back. Ah! Okay. So, anyways. We are going to be reacting to Disney's Carno versus the V-Rex Battle Face-Off In-Depth Analysis by Goji Center. Face reveal win. Face reveal when I'm bigger than Mr. Beast. It's 38 minutes. Carno Robustus. Next question. I know these guys. Hard reveal win. When I'm about 1 million years old. Like size wise. we're gonna watch this because I love Disney Carno. Carnotaurus is like my favorite dinosaur. Close second is Spino. But Carnotaurus. And this is what I kind of want to do with my death battle. Goji Center, death battle, and low-key Unnatural History Channel are like the 3 main inspirations. Oh, I'm sorry. And plus Rage Gaming, since they also talked about like monsters fighting each other. Like they would just have a little bit of discussions every so often. Those are the 4 main inspirations for my Versus series. What in ball? Oh, that's right. The string crashed, so fucking... So there was no sound.
Today, in the battle arena, 2 colossal, voracious meat-eaters from 2 eras face each other for the first time ever. On one end, the veteran of the evolutionary arms race in the most dangerous place in the planet's history, the modern-day successor from the line of tyrant kings, Vestatosaurus Rex. On the other, the feared, bloodthirsty demon bull from the southern prehistoric wilds, armed from head to toe with nightmarish weapons and armor, Carnotaurus robustus floridana from Disney's Dinosaur. These 2 fictional species will go head-to-head as we study their armor, weapons, strengths, and weaknesses that will determine which of these creatures would come out alive from a fight to the death. No quarter given, no mercy shown. So stay till the end to witness the bloodiest showdown yet on Goji Center's Monster Face-Off. This battle will feature...
Hell yeah. Real quick.
Weaknesses that will determine which of the...
Who do you think wins between these 2? Everyone put in your bets now. Say hi to Steve, the presenter. Hi, Steve. Who do you guys think will win? Carnotaurus or the V-Rex?
These creatures would come out alive from a fight to the death. No quarter given, no mercy shown. So stay till the end to witness the bloodiest showdown yet.
Who do you think wins between these 2? Everyone, put in your votes now. Put in your votes now. I personally said Carno. So, because, is that bias? Yes. But do I also think he would win? Yes. That a V-Rex? Yes, this is specifically a V-Rex from Skull Island, King Kong. Wait, what are we doing now? I was cooking, so I missed it. Hello, Dex. We are watching a monster face-off in-depth analysis. Basically, a monster versus battle. Think of like what I do, but just kind of better. Or like better production, and also better. This is going to have the Carnotaurus from Disney versus the V-Rex from Skull Island, King Kong. The V-Rex is an inbred aberrant that grew in an environment without competition other than the monkey. I don't know if it had 0 other competition. Well, I don't know if you would... No, competition, yes. Competition, yes. In terms of things that could kill it, there were a few things. Hey! Viber being a member for 9 months. They grow so fast. There's a whole... baby. Disney Cardo is a demon. When you cook index. To be fair, King Kong had knocked over V-Rexes, so I would expect Carno to knock a V-Rex over. Well, let's see. So it seems like the general consensus is that people are saying the Carno is going to win. Let's see.
On Goji Center's Monster Face-Off. This battle will feature...
Wait a minute. Leave a like.
2 fictional theropod super species. 1, a speculative depiction of what T-Rex would have evolved into, taking many variables into account, and the other being an Abelisaur on steroids times 2, a gestalt of Carnotaurus Tyrannosaurus amped up even more. In this episode, you'll find that size and mobility are attributes.
God damn. Yo, do you think Nil will do something like this? It's like, Nil, how long would it take you to make me something like this? Nil's probably going to be like, 10 years, big dog. That's a joke.
attributes that we will be paying very close attention to, since both real-life Carnotaurus and Tyrannosaurus.
God damn! Holy fuck! Will you watch the Blue versus Grand Budget realistic? No, I will not watch that. I do not care for that.
Rex had different advantages in mobility, but today, these might not play out exactly how you think. You'll find out soon. Pay close attention as we begin with section number 1.
A Lamborghini Storado, a Hennessy.
I could not care less, even if you paid me. Literally, get off my screen. I wanted to see two dinosaurs fight! Yeah, Carno is a little guy. I love him for that. I also love him for that.
Mass and corporal build will be taken into account for this part of the analysis. Note that the fight today is between CGI depicted creatures, and in the movies, the sizes change quite a bit for them to fit on the frame and simply to look good on the camera. Thankfully, some of the official stats seen in the media and DVD special featurettes will come in to help us out. Secondary media like toys and children's books tend to give contradictory info, so those will be left out to make today's Rumble the most even matchup possible. The Ravager, king of Skull Island, was a species evolved from the already robust Tyrannosaurus Rex, turning even stockier, bigger, and heavier. There were 3 of these seen in the film, and we're going to be using the most experienced one of the bunch, the bull seen in the last skirmish, and one that King Kong nearly didn't walk away from. Comparing the bull to Kong, we can get a good benchmark that is somewhat shorter at the hip than the ape is at the top of his head. This is identical as shown in the book World of Kong, A Natural History of Skull Island, an invaluable source of information for today and for a future fight coming right around the corner. Now, this size chart doesn't give
No way. A Kong versus battle? Please.
Future fight coming right around the corner. Now, this size chart doesn't give exact metrics, but matching them with what is seen in the book and using Ann Darrow's Naomi Watts as a measuring stick gives us a height of 5.6 meters tall at the hip and 15 to potentially 16 meters long from nose to tail. This is already leagues heavier than Tyrannosaurus Rex, but we need a number. Plugging these specs into our modeling software to get volumetrics, using average body density equations for T-Rex as provided by Laramendi & Co., we can get a shocking weight estimate of 24 to 27,000 kilograms. In freedom units, we're talking about 26 to 29 tons. It seems like a bit much, but consider how the V-Rex's hip measurements are the height of Jurassic Park's theropods at the top of the head. As film artist Greg Broadmoor put it regarding the making of the V-Rex, it wasn't about making a real dinosaur, it was about making it the most terrifying thing that Kong could fight. As for its horned nemesis,
I'm bored now. Throw Ice Age Rudy in there.
Viewers of the
I
channel,
hope the V-Rex comes back in the Monsterverse. I'm not gonna lie, there's almost like 0 chance now that the V-Rex is coming to the Monsterverse. I think the Skull Crawlers were basically the replacement for the V-Rexes.
may recall some of the exhaustive work we already went through figuring out how awesomely huge these apex abelisaurs are when we turned their horns against St. Huber Island. Disney's Dinosaur had 2, likely even 3 different Carnos featured on screen. There's a bit of confusion as to who was who in the last act of this film, with the common belief that this Carno was the big one, while some shots suggest it was the smaller Carno that survived the cave collapse. So, for today's fight, we'll have to pick the Carnotaur size that is as close as possible to the V-Rex waiting on the other side of the ring. This Carnotaurus seen on screen in this shot is as large as it gets, lining up pretty nicely with an official size chart provided by the home video release. This right here is the closest official metric we get with what we see in this scene, though the Carno we see here could have been larger. That being because this 10-foot Pachyrhinosaurus is closer to the camera than the Carno. This size chart seems to be showcasing the larger of the Carno pair, so we have a measurement of 7 meters or 23 feet tall at the top of the head in this posture, hip height at approximately 5.5 meters, and proportionally, using a 3D model as reference, we have a length of around 14.6 meters or more. For the weight of this creature, we won't quite use the same body density of a tyrannosaur multiplied by the volume. Abelisaurs are about as far removed from birds as you can get when it comes to Cretaceous theropods, often having denser bones and less air pockets than tyrannosaurs at the same size. Average body density is not too different, but it can factor. So, a while ago when we let loose 2 Carnos on St. Hubert, we were pretty conservative in our prior weight estimates, as to give these poor inhabitants a chance. Today, not so much. Abelisaur density comes into play on top of using the higher weight.
If I remember correctly, Skull Island was already sunken in the ocean during the Monsterverse. Well, depending on what part in the story. Like Skull Island, right? Kong Skull Island, literally is like Kong already like on the fucking island, so it hasn't been sank there. And I think in GXK, I think it was implied that the island is going to shit. Now, probably at the point of like the next film, Skull Island most likely is gone. Most likely. But Skull Island has been inside the Monsterverse for a while now. Skull Island was destroyed in the Ghidorah Superstorm. Wasn't that the whole point of having Kong in the dome in JVK? I don't think... No. So I'm pretty sure the dome was erected inside, on the island. I'm pretty sure it was erected on the island. I could be wrong about that. But yes, basically, it is going to shit.
Estimate for these Carnos, since we kind of did the same for V-Rex.
That's why Kong lives in the Hollow Earth now? Yeah. Also because he's found he's like the leader of the other Kongs and stuff and all that.
Already, the horrible...
Oh my goodness, it's King. Hello, King. How are you?
Hornheads will enter the fight with a mass of 22 to 25,000 kilograms, or about 24 to 27 tons. Weight estimates for these animals differ by just around 2 tons for the lower and higher numbers. Barely a difference at this scale, but one still has a slight advantage. The V-Rex takes the first edge in this...
Damn it! Alright, V-Rex, you get this round. You get this fucking round.
...category. Whether it will be enough to secure...
I'm doing good, enjoying summer break. That's awesome to hear. What are we watching? We are watching a battle face-off in-depth analysis. Basically a monster versus matchup. But it's by Goji Center. And it's Carnotaurus from Disney versus V-Rex from King Kong Skull Island. Although I might as well just say like the actual director or the author who actually made the specific Skull Island. But I'm blanking on his name.
A win will heavily...
BS I say. Huh. V-Rex should win. Hey. That's the opposite opinion to everyone in the chat, or basically everyone in the chat. A lot of people in the chat are saying the Carnotaurus is going to win, me included.
Depend on other factors coming up next. Section 2, Armor.
Overall body... Well, keep in mind, Viper, Peter Jackson, is that the one for the King Kong one? Is that the King Kong Skull Island one, Peter Jackson? Yes, then it's Peter Jackson. So Peter Jackson V-Rex. I will say the reason why it's... Keep in mind, though, if they were to use the actual, like, equivalent to basically... So, with V-Rex, they used straight-up, like, upscaling from T-Rex. Carnotaurus, they actually used regular Carnotaurus upscale. So, they used T-Rex, it probably would have been heavier. Most likely, at least from my own logic, which isn't very sound and clad. But, again, we continue. It being, like, barely heavier. If anything, I probably would have given it, like... I would have made this a tie. Me, personally, I would have made this a tie. If it's off by, like, 1 ton or 2 tons, I would have just probably given it a tie. I would have said they're comparable to each other. But if you want to say which one technically weighs the most theoretically, I guess you'd give it to them.
And on other factors coming up next. Section 2, Armor.
Armor, this has to go to the Carnotaurus. Come on, baby, come on.
The design process of these animals, it was a conscious...
Maybe tie.
choice to make these villain skins very different from their relatively smooth ancestors. So, Tyrannosaurs, the lineage which the fictional V-Rex hails from, were a deeply nested branch of the Coelurosaur family, all which had feathers to some degree or another. The director of this film wanted the Ravagers of Skull Island to look less like the Jurassic Park animals and more like the creatures from the older eras of filmmaking, like the 1933 original, that being almost looking like bipedal crocodiles. The Tyrannosaurs stranded on this island over millions of years developed thicker skulls, and
God damn, that skull is fucking ugly. That's a gnarly looking skull.
it's not too hard to
And Bracky, yes, before you say it, it's because I know why.
find out why. Studies from 2022 noted repeated patterns of injuries on T-Rex skulls, suggesting that this species
Gnarly. I'm sorry, I said gnarly. Viper.
used their heads as their primary weapons, and V-Rex was no different. The keratinous buildup on the brows of the T-Rex were also visible in the more modern V-Rex, but more exaggerated. In this arms race on an island where literally any creature is one misstep from getting flatlined, even the mighty descendant of T-Rex had to push it further. So, unlike its smooth ancestor, V-Rex featured thicker bony osteoderms and scales along their body. While T-Rex didn't quite need this armor, especially being agile already and fighting head-to-head with other T-Rexes, these V-Rexes faced a wider variety of dangers that might have instigated the development of this armor, especially useful against the larger variants of Venatosaurus, hordes of Therapus mordax, and the two most dangerous opponents it could face, another V-Rex and Megaprimatus Kong. These apes being possibly the most agile heavyweights in the island and capable of easily getting around the heavily armored head.
Bitch.
And running the danger of getting flanked by members of their own species. That's right. V-Rex, coming from an already agile lineage of T-Rex, took it a step further by changing the anatomy of their ribcage. A larger gap between the last ribs and the hips allowed V-Rex to sneak through the dense jungles of Skull Island. But those who are really familiar with the anatomy of T-Rex might notice something lacking in V-Rex: the gastralia. This has been greatly reduced since the Cretaceous and no longer offers the same protection. Carnotaurus, on the other hand, meanwhile draws traits from its real-life relatives and exaggerates them. During the production of Dinosaur, T-Rex was actually going to be the main antagonist, until newer developments in the late 90s. Carnotaurus was introduced as a potential villain, and it made it into production a lot bigger than its Cretaceous ancestor, and a lot more heavily armored. So the real-life Carnotaurus, unlike what was previously believed, did not have spiky armor, as was previously depicted. Instead, skin impressions preserved with the body show large feature scales, hardened plates of keratin embedded in the skin with no bones about it. Big Disney Carno, however, seemingly had a mixture of these two. Hardened plates of keratin skin along its back and flanks topped with spiky, bony armor. But it doesn't end here. Similar to Tyrannosaurs, Carnotaurus also fought with its head. A much more sturdy, thicker, and reinforced skull with keratin scales allowed this animal to absorb impacts. In fact, the debatably canon
Is it weird for me to say that, like, I love looking at the skull of Disney's Carnotaurus? It's literally like an in-between between Carnotaurus and T-Rex. But, like, for some reason, I just love looking at this thing. I'm like, oh yeah, this thing looks like a monster. In a good way.
skeleton display in Disney World's Animal Kingdom Countdown to Extinction is actually a gestalt of Carnotaurus and Tyrannosaurus skeletons, the head being a mixture of these two animals and something that may play in favor of the Carno down in another section. Note that this guy may possibly have had a more reinforced ribcage as well, even though not explicitly shown in the display at the theme park ride. Just like many other incomplete T-Rex skeletons, we do know for sure that both real-life Carnotaurus and Tyrannosaurus had more gastralia coverage than our V-Rex. Therefore, we can assume that Disney Carno likely had more armor in this area. V-Rex internally likely had the thicker skull. Carno is definitely not too far behind in that regard. V-Rex and Carno both have very well-armored backs. The Carno with a very high likelihood of being more armored internally in the abdomen, both with potential weaknesses that could be exploited depending on how these two fight. For now, we'll settle this as a draw for the
Fine.
two theropods. Section 3, Speed. Winning speed may not have seemed important to
Oh, please give this to the Carno. Please give this to the fucking Carno. That boy moves. That boy moves. For his size, he be moving. Especially up, like, rocky terrain. You gotta give speed to him. Please.
Past face-offs. However, today, the winner of this edge will have the ability to pick when the fight happens, on what terms, moving rapidly to increase blows, retreating, or catching up to an opponent that wants to cut their losses and try to take off. So the Tyrannosaurinae was the group where all the largest tyrannosaurs like Juchungtyrannus, Tarbosaurus, and T-Rex all hail from. These theropods would grow up in height and length in the first growth stage before they started to bulk up as adults. Looking at both the natural history of Skull Island and tie-in video games, we can see that young V-Rex do indeed have this agile build before they bulk up into their adult form. But at this scale, things do begin to change up on V-Rex. There is one difference in the internal anatomy of these two that might determine who wins this category. In cursorial predators that chase prey down over long distances, there is a certain golden ratio in the proportions of the upper leg versus the lower leg, involving a short and thick upper leg, but longer lower leg. This allows for plenty of muscle attachment, meaning the upper leg only moves a shorter distance to swing the longer lower leg back and forth to cover more ground. This saves energy, preserves momentum while running long distances. But V-Rex's skeleton here shows that the proportions have changed from the ancestral Tyrannosaurs. A longer upper leg relative to the side of the lower leg, and it also tends to walk with a much more bent-legged stance. Now, this may be good for spectacle, as this makes the V-Rex move around more menacingly. However, this is the exact opposite of what one would want for high-speed directional movement. Carno, meanwhile, brings a build that manages this kind of speed even at a large size. Both the design and skeleton display at the theme park are a Frankenstein combo of the real-life Carno and T-Rex. So, quick parenthesis here, viewers of the channel have heard us rant before about how some animals are realistically too big to function properly. If that is you thinking that, well...
Literally, yes. Literally, yes. But it's fiction, so we don't care. We love it.
Watching these animals move, then yes, you're right, actually. However, in Monster Face-Off, this is literally one of the only physics warping phenomena we usually let slide lately. Otherwise, some of these fights would end up with both animals crushed under their own weight the moment we start the fight simulation. Disney Carno's build is a bit more optimized for long pursuits, and its real-life relatives were absolute...
I was about to say, isn't it like literally give like the speed of like a fucking Carnotaurus and then the size bulk up of like T-Rex and even bulk that even up more? Like, yes.
Speedsters! Thanks to caudofemoralis muscles in conjunction with its thick tail, this animal was able to hit top speeds and maintain them for a long time. A 2011 study by Dr. Scott Persons and Dr. Philip J. Curry literally called this animal Dinosaur Speed Demon. Floridana also had a thick tail. Granted, it was more flexible, so it probably would get outrun by its real-life counterpart, but this one was seen to hold a sprint for a good amount of time, chasing down a herd of herbivorous dinosaurs, initiating the ambush from a very long distance instead of sneaking up on them at close proximity. And this happened twice. In this fight, the Carno, despite being almost just as heavy, has a better leg anatomy for speed, giving them the ability to set the terms for this fight. Edge, Carno.
Aura, thank you. Thank you for the love of God. This is very peak. Only wish that spiky boy was real. Yeah, I also wish he was real, because I would have had to deal with him, because he'd be dead by now. Real Carno wasn't fast. I don't know. Okay, well, Carnotaurus has been, like a lot of dinosaurs, it gets updated. However, the Carnotaurus in Disney is fast. So, I suppose, doesn't really matter.
Taurus. Section 4, Agility. Now...
Alright, so we got 1 to the V-Rex, 1 tie, 1 to the Carno. This... Alright, so everything's tied right now.
Is a good time to show where these guys are going to fight at the end of today's episode. Carnotaurus, as mentioned already, was seen hunting in open grasslands. Although V-Rex wasn't seen doing this in the movie,
Damn.
He is mentioned in the canonical tie-in book, World of Kong, A Natural History of Skull Island, that V-Rex did at times hunt in open plains. So, assuming that these two did live in the same landmass, it is very likely that these two specimens will eventually contest over territory. These environments may have trees, shrubs, rocks, and other variables in the terrain that could be leveraged by the one who is most agile. Carnotaurus sastre may have been a speedster, however, the same study that called it a speed demon did note that they had to slow down to turn, or run in a wide angle to change direction. Thankfully, however, Disney Carno does have a different body build, again, similar to T-Rex, though perhaps not exactly. Tyrannosaurs, coming from Coelurosaurs, did come from a lineage of agile animals that were used to maneuvering through dense terrain. The T-Rex's ilium or hip bone and muscle attachments made it possible for T-Rex to turn on a dime. Did Carnotaurus have this? Quite possible. Carnotaurus was also able to maneuver upwards on an incline on very uneven terrain, using its tail to turn its body radius enough for it to hit with considerable force.
Damn!
But one might think that these two so far are neck and neck in terms of agility. However, the Statosaurus Rex took it further. What initially seemed to be a weakness in armor now works in favor of V-Rex. It was mentioned in World of Kong that these rib bones along with the arrangement of the spine were reduced so as to let the V-Rex maneuver even more easily through the dense, shrinking terrain of this island. This evolved Tyrannosaur, apart from being even more agile, is now more flexible, and in a way, a less rigid body can help absorb more hits. See, we told you that certain aspects might not play out exactly how you think. In this case, it seems like an additional 66 million years of evolution and living in Skull Island came in handy for V-Rex to win this category. Edge, V-Rex. Section.
I'm fine with that. Agility goes to V-Rex, but the actual speed goes to Carnotaurus. I'm fine with that.
5. Intelligence.
I honestly can't say for this.
Dinosaur intelligence has been a topic debated for decades. Taking it a step further and comparing two fictional species, one being a speculatively evolved T-Rex and another an Abelisaur that strayed far from its own family tree, is going to be quite challenging. And we can only use their real-life relatives as a reference to a certain degree. So the general consensus is that many carnivorous theropods were broadly similar in intelligence to many modern predators like crocs, predatory birds, and some carnivorous animals. This spectrum may seem a bit broad, but don't underestimate crocodilians. These guys lately have been underrated for quite some time. All the while, they possessed complex memory skills, deductive reasoning, use of tools, baiting prey, and even pack hunting. All things
You can't say use of tools and then show just like a croc under.
deductive reasoning, use of tools.
Yo, where'd he go? So who are we betting on? Just got back from a long phone call. King said V-Rex. Most of everyone in the chat though is saying Carnotaurus.
Baiting prey, and even pack hunting. All things that most experts agree that Tyrannosaurs and Abelisaurs displayed. Both are capable of pulling off ambushes under.
Yo, fuck that, Brody. Fuck that. You see, yo. Nothing that big should be trying to ambush something. Nothing that big should be looking like a panther. Damn, he knows how to use sticks. This is pretty scary right here. Narakuka looking.
Pulling off ambushes, understanding the importance of going incognito. Intelligence-wise, Tyrannosaurs were broadly the smartest of the large theropod dinosaurs, though Carnotaurs in particular did also show a lot of similarities, and was likely a cut above most Abelisaurs in the smart scale. In fact, some research on the brain anatomy indicated Carnotaurus was very similar to some Tyrannosaurs. So, does this dictate the edge in this category? Well, not so fast. There is one factor that does tilt the odds. The Carnotaurus in the movie were still healthy, generally diverse individuals that had just started experiencing an extinction event. V-Rex, on the other hand, during the events of 1933, have been enduring an ongoing extinction event that depleted their genetic diversity. Remember, this island was getting smaller over time. More conflicts between their own kind and the great apes brought both to the brink of extinction. This means generational inbreeding had already started affecting and afflicting the remaining V-Rexes. They may have been quite similar to a healthy individual. It's not like they were an RPG character that suddenly had their stats cut in half. But inbreeding has shown in modern species that physical and mental deformities come into play. One example is the captive populations of Bengal.
Guys, don't laugh at him. Alright, don't laugh at him.
white tigers. This could also explain why the V-Rex in the movie acted so oddly at times. The filmmakers embraced the idea of these being inbred mutations, traits like mismatched teeth, altered torsos, and getting distracted a little too much by Anne during the fight. Now, some might argue that the V-Rex thought this was Kong's offspring, but even an animal of this caliber should have put 2 and 2 together to realize this was not Kong's offspring, and not an important threat in their fight versus King Kong. Instead of going for the clear weak spots or trying to handicap the ape, they instead went for Anne. Their priorities weren't quite straight here, especially since these two species were mortal enemies, and V-Rex seemed to have lost sight of the big picture here. When motivated, however, V-Rex does show some advanced problem solving, figuring out the swing mechanic while restrained and tied up in order to reach Anne. All three worked in coordination, especially this part, where the two V-Rex waited until the third one pulled up to then attack at once. Clearly, these are smart, but also a bit clumsy with their priorities. Carnotaurus robustus floridana, on the other hand, displayed complex hunting methodology, quietly sneaking up to Bruton and Krato, nearly killing both, and them usually being portrayed as predators who lock in on the objective. Decision-making that nearly paid off had it not been for unforeseen circumstances. Once Carno changed his target from the herd to the more vulnerable Kron, it made the decision to attack the Hadrosaur despite being on top of hard terrain. Had it not been for the unstable platform, it's very likely that both Aladar and Nira would have also been lunch. For this category, the fact that this particular V-Rex...
Yo, Kong, you're scaring the hoes. Give it to me. The ladies love me. Kong, you always scaring the HUDs. Now me, I'm an alpha male. The HUDs loves me. Give it to me! Such a fucking idiot. Can I please get a bite out of that?
X was afflicted with neurological issues due to inbreeding and lost sight of the bigger picture at play, gives the already intelligent Carnotaur an edge in intelligence.
Yes, sir. Calm down there, Bronco.
Had this been a more genetically balanced V-Rex from eons ago, the edge would have ended up with the Tyrannosaur. But sometimes better tools...
Yeah, fucking sister fucker. Sit down, the Carnotaurus is talking.
...can offset the balance of power. And what better than the next category?
Make your browser fast.
Bro, I'm not trying to watch this, please. Please, I'm not trying to watch this. Get the fuck out of my screen.
Section number 6.
Oh my goodness. Yo, what's going on? Yo, what's going on, Speed? What's going on, Speed? What's going on, Speed?
Senses. Let us now focus.
I don't know. Maybe Carnotaurus because of the inbreeding, but I don't know.
Focus on both of these animals' heads for a bit and study some sensory organs to see who is likely to lock in on targets better. One thing to see.
Speed Demon, it's the Carnotaurus in chat. Okay, Viper, I see what you did there. It's 2.5 right now. Yeah, it's pretty tied.
T-scan of a Carnotaurus brain did show was that parts of T-Rex and Carno brains looked pretty different. T-Rex and Carno's olfactory bulb were comparable, but the portion devoted to eyesight was larger in T-Rex. Not that Carnotaurus had bad vision, no, but T-Rex had far better vision in terms of differentiating light from dark colors. Interestingly, even if it was by mere coincidence, in the film we find
I was about to say, I don't think the Carnotaurus in the movie, like, I don't think they really showed that Carnotaurus was specifically good with senses. I mean, Aladar was able to kind of like sneak around the one Carnotaurus that was kind of eating like a little dinosaur. And I think Carnotaurus kind of noticed it, but definitely it wasn't like, it didn't like track down Aladar. Like, I think it noticed that something was near it, but it didn't know where. But, oh, sorry, the screen's probably like really dark for you. So, I don't know. In the movie, it didn't show them to have bad senses, but it didn't show them to have any, like, particularly good senses. Got how Carno has an anglerfish-looking skull. Bro, don't say that, please.
Carnotaurus have a hard time spotting Aladar in the cave, only spotting him when lightning lit up the cave and...
God be like, yo, it'd be mad funny if I just made lightning happen right now. Yo, Aladar, light check.
entrance. So, while the 1930s generations of V-Rex may have had some deformities already, even inbreeding can only nerf an animal to some degree. Deformed or not, this snout leaves room for a much larger sinus cavity. Since this species
Big nose.
presumably lived on this isolated landmass for millions of years, the sensory organs might have become more advanced and fine-tuned to pick up the slightest nuance in a heavily concentrated island with hundreds or even thousands of life forms. Comparing their line of sight, and V-Rex seems to have more binocular vision, being able to lock in on targets with better depth perception. That's if it decides to focus on the task at hand. The range of hearing for both of these creatures was probably broadly similar. Investigations into the inner ear show both Carnotaurus and Tyrannosaurus were well acute at hearing very low frequency sounds below 3 kilohertz. So, who wins the edge? At a
Probably V-Rex.
distance, both of them would be roughly on par to detect each other with sound or smell. As they approach, V-Rex will spot the Carno first, but since this fight takes place in an open field, no real advantage is played here. What will matter today is the fact that V-Rex has better depth and light perception. In range, the V-Rex would have the slight advantage of picking his target slightly better. Edge, V-Rex.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's not to say that Carnotaurus has bad senses. It's just that none of them are particularly, like, amazing. You know what I'm saying? So, Voldemort has us.
Section 7, Bite Effective.
Ooh. Bite effectiveness. Well, certain skulls are better at biting for different reasons. Some are better for shredding, some are better for, like, per square inch bite force. So what is, like, bite effective? Like, what would you consider a effective bite? The force or the way you're able to spread the force of the bite? Depending on what they consider to be bite effective can go either way.
It goes without
I must go. Have a great rest of your stream. Hopefully you see you in the next one. Okay, bye, Art. Everyone say bye. Everyone say bye. Thank you, Art. Thank you for donating to Mari. It was very kind of you. Always great seeing you. Some can also have better for crushing. That's true. Damage from bites. We'll just see. I'm not... Okay, obviously, I want to say for Carnotaurus, I think, for this fight specifically, I think Carnotaurus's skull is better. Well, this Carnotaurus, right? Disney Carnotaurus. I think it's better for this fight, but it kind of depends on what he's depicting as good or like effective. So I'm not gonna be super mad if he says V-Rex, if he means like a certain way. But for me, I think T-Rex. I think Carnotaurus.
Saying that the two primary weapons for these juggernauts are the very obvious business ends of their body. These jaws eclipse all other beasts of the land seen in the fossil record. Starting us out, the Carnotaurus has an absolutely monstrous head. May not be immediately obvious
I'm not gonna say anything, but
in the movie, seemingly smaller in comparison to the iguanodons, but don't forget that either of these two iguanodons are quite large themselves. Today, we'll look at the amount of mouthful these two can crunch on, bite force, and the type of teeth at play here. To figure out a ballpark estimate of bite force, we'll be using formulas and data from...
Oh, okay, so this is bite force, not effectiveness of bite and crushing. This is purely bite force. This might go to the V-Rex.
Dr. Sakamoto. Then come up with a weighted average of what the bite of a robust Carnotaurus is, halfway between the size of an actual Carnotaurus and Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, that's a sexy looking skull right there.
Then from here, scale up the jaw to
I could go for some monstrous head right
the size of Carnotaurus robustus. Being a bit less conservative as we were prior, the resulting crunching force measures as high as 53 to 74,000 newtons. And all of this is focused on thick serrated teeth.
By the way, make sure you guys are caught up on the stream. Like, you're not watching, like, Like, you're not, like, 5 minutes, or not 5 minutes, you're not, like, 5 seconds behind. I've noticed that some of you guys sometimes are, and you don't notice. I just, like, real quick, just wanted to make sure that you are. Like, make sure that you're, that you're caught up. So, like, make it all the way to the, like, grab it, drag it, put it all the way to the beginning. Or, like, refresh. That's probably, like, the best. Just looking out for you guys.
Capable of shredding. Note, these kinds of teeth aren't quite the best for crunching like a T-Rex, but we are now talking about a good combination of slicing and crunching. Additionally, the fact that the Robustus's skull is a lot wider than Sastre's suggests that this larger Carno comes equipped with extra muscles, necessary to bite harder than an equal-sized, narrower skull. This again is another perk of being an Abelisaur that adopted some physical traits of the wider-jawed Tyrannosaur. In other books, it's even mentioned that this Carno's jaws are wide enough to be able to swallow a human whole. The V-Rex has quite a reputation
Vor alert?
to uphold. As the size of an animal increases, the weight of the animal
Put it at ×2 speed. I shall put it 1.15.
in question will increase at an even faster rate. This is square cube law action. So every muscle of these animals, including the jaw, will now have to work even harder against gravity. This is why when you double the size of a
Oh, not you? Oh, okay. So you're saying... Okay, so you're saying 2 times 8. Okay, got it.
thereopod, that doesn't automatically mean double the bite force. And this T-Rex, twice the size of a T-Rex, will not have more than
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It is big joke.
harder against gravity. This is why when you double the
See, I'm working, get a joke in my head, saying it like 3 minutes later when I...
size of a theropod, that doesn't automatically mean double the bite force. And this V-Rex, twice the size of a T-Rex, will not have more than double the bite force. And the work by Dr. Sakamoto supports this, since we have smaller Tyrannosaurs, half the mass of Tyrannosaurus Rex, but with more than half the chomping force. So, after observing the skull of this creature, we noticed something interesting. After 66 million years of evolution, the jaw structure actually changed a bit. Stouter and more robust in some regions,
This motherfucker get a permanent fucking Joker smile? What am I looking at here?
but leaner in others. The hole you see here in the back of the skull combined with this one on top of the head are primary attaching points for the jaw muscles to work in tandem with the mandible. What does this mean? These
It's the meme. Are you talking about the skull meme?
progressively shrinking keyhole shapes mean that V-Rex changed the way it bit down on victims, trading off bite force for a larger size. Since being this big and its chomp was already more than enough, otherwise at this scale V-Rex would likely smash its own skull. With this in mind, V-Rex would probably be a ballpark figure of 70 to 85,000 newtons of force. Hugely gargantuan and a big reason for the downfall of the Mega Primatus Kong species. To figure out the edge, some of these weird tooth deformities may work in favor of this particular V-Rex. V-Rex has the stronger bite and wins this edge, but some...
Yeah, okay. I think you should have said bite force instead of bite effectiveness, because effectiveness is kind of subjective to what you're going for, but yeah, if it's for the force and stuff, all that, yeah.
thing to note here is that both of these animals have the necessary force needed to kill the opponent if bitten on the right spot.
That is true. Like, none of them, like, it's not like just because he won this point doesn't mean, like, V-Rex can't, or Carnotaurus can't, like, bite the shit out of V-Rex and still heavily damage him.
So, while V-Rex wins this edge,
Yeah, Ash Devil Joe, exactly.
landing hit
Why so serious?
is critical. Other weapons may open different opportunities.
Hello.
Please, I'm not trying to be sad. I'm not trying to be sad. Please, get off my screen.
Number 8.
Okay, so what do we got here? So we got one, for Carnotaurus, he's blue. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck, 4? And then we got 1 time. We only got 2. Damn! It ain't looking good, bro. It ain't looking good. Auxiliary weaponry? Yo. Give that to Cardo. Literally give that to Cardo. Also, I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back. I'll leave you guys with this screen real quick. X Factor Trust. I will be right back. I gotta take a piss. But for auxiliary weaponry, that's gotta be Cardo. Come on. Come on, big dog. Come on, big dog. That's gotta be Cardo. Alright, I'm back. Should have went with PSI personally, because a stronger bite is better than more surface area. More surface area can be better in certain circumstances, but it's like, in this fight, which one would you rather have? Like, which one's more important? You know what I'm saying? Like, the V-Rex can bite, like, more of the Carno, but potentially the Carno, in one specific area, has a more deadlier bite. Call me Devil Joe the way I invade your stream randomly. Hello, Logan. Also, guys, I got some... Basically, I got some chocolates that I have not eaten yet from... on my vacation. I'm gonna eat some. I'm just gonna eat a few. Because even though I have eaten already, I shouldn't eat all this chocolate. How you feeling, Spot? I am hungry. I'm pretty hungry. For what I know how it works, more surface area means less force behind it. Generally, yes. Call me Devil Joe the way I be starving right now. Unless I go and... Do I have food in the fridge? I think I do. But I can wait, like, you know, like another, like, 30 minutes. I'm fine.
Auxiliary weapons. The jaws might be the business end, but either of these two have more than enough weight to throw around and use their body parts as devastating weapons. We'll be comparing the brow region of these animal skulls as well as the tail. Now, a big factor is rotation speed, which we already settled that the V-Rex would likely hold a slight advantage here.
Damn, fucking whipping that, man. You see that shit?
Speed, which we already
Call me Devil Joe the way I just subscribed. Yo, W Logan. W Logan.
settled that the V-Rex
What do they taste like? You talk about the chocolate. It is butter beer, caramel-filled chocolate.
would likely hold a slight advantage here. Had this been a hugely superior rotation speed, then we'd end this section and call it for V-Rex. However, we are dealing with a megatheropod with a very special set of weapons on its tail and brow regions. Starting with the skull, Carnotaurus robustus has been seen on screen to use these as a mace. Topped with a thicker, wider skull, the slightly slower rotation speed of Carno is made up by an impact inflicted by a smaller surface area, that being the small tips of these horns. Similarly to how the V-Rex's teeth snagged an edge in the previous section, the Carno's horns now have more piercing power. Against an armored opponent, it may at first seem confusing as to how these blows could pierce. Well, in the film, almost every blow from the Carno's horns were aimed low. And without a gastralia to help guard against these blows, these may prove a lot more effective than a blow from a relatively flatter surface.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Give it to my man.
Tail blows are a maneuver used by both species. While V-Rex has more weight behind a blow and greater rotation
For me, I'm just having some Cheez-Its. Ooh. Had a big box of 2 bags for $10. Not bad.
speed, Carnotaurus isn't too far behind
I'm sorry, man. Don't look at me, man. We just talk about Cheez-Its here. Relax.
either. Even if slightly inferior in terms of force, not even that much to make a huge difference. The designers of Carno Robustus gave this fella another edge. Spiked ridges on the end of the tail turn this weapon into a scourge whip, not only throwing lesser opponents back, but also making these hits sting, or even cut if hitting an unarmored area hard enough. Does this even matter against an opponent of slightly greater weight? At best, it levels the playing field in the duel of tails. Head blows, however, matters more since both of these fight predominantly with their heads. For this category, the Carnotaurus takes the edge for auxiliary weapons.
Aura. Watch this go to the V-Rex. I would have unsubscribed. Actually, I don't even think I'm subscribed. I would have unliked.
Section 9.
Okay, so...
X Factor.
Excuse me, bish. Excuse me, bish. This should be red for Cardo. Excuse me, bish. Why is this not red? Excuse me. Alright, so V-Rex has 4 points, Carno has 3 points, and they have 1 tie.
We are moments away from witnessing these two fight to the death. But first, we need to quickly go over some lore that affects the mentality of these two fighters and what's at stake in today's fight. During the development of the film, a fight to the death,
So
the
whence are you colorblind? What are you talking?
Taurus takes the edge for auxiliary weapons. Section 9, X Factor. We are moments away from witnessing.
Or wait, was it
Needed to kill the opponent. But something to note here is that bot. So, while V-Rex wins this edge, landing hits is critical. Other weapons may open different opportunities. Section number 8.
Yeah. I'm about to say, was like this one right here the auxiliary weaponry? No, it's this. They just didn't make it red.
Further, apart from successfully hunting prey and first with the productor film of fighters and what's at stake in today's fight. During the development of the film, the idea of Tyrannosaurus being a scavenger and not a hunter was heavily disseminated amongst the filmmakers. And since the Carno was initially supposed to replace the T-Rex, depicting Carnotaurus, whose name means meat-eating bull, as merely a scavenger, didn't sit right with the production team. Therefore, they opted to make this creature not only a hunter, but a shrewd pursuit predator. This goes a bit further. Apart from successfully hunting prey and tracking down a herd instilling terror on literally every other species, Carnotaurus lived in an extreme version of the late Cretaceous, with animals from completely different eras of the Mesozoic.
Literally, it's like, Surdy, Brody, you are not supposed to be here. You and me, we're apart from each other approximately 15 million years. Don't worry about it. It's just a Disney movie. Shh.
And more types of potential game than any other big predator did in real life. And given these abelisaurs didn't grow as fast as Tyrannosaurus, for a Carno to reach these gargantuan sizes, it would have been very skilled, experienced, and to some degree a bit lucky, giving it plenty of cause for caution and retreating from an unfavorable situation, as seen when Carno opted to go for easier prey instead of taking on a whole herd. Or after seeing the cave collapse took out its partner, instead of being vengeful, this fella decided to leave to hunt another day. But V-Rex, meanwhile, was living in a slowly crumbling world that was declining more and more by the decade, and every species had to fight tooth and nail to maintain themselves alive. Tyrannosaurs grew quickly by theropod standards, so it's likely that V-Rex did as well. And in an environment as tightly packed and crammed with competitors at that young age, mixed with mental degradation from inbreeding, you have the recipe for creatures that just don't know when to quit. They can hold back and be reasonable when confronting rivals of their own kind, but against other species, they might push their luck, and are the types to press and get more aggressive even if they are outmatched. This can be reckless, and no doubt resulted in plenty of their species never reaching adulthood, picking fights with dangerous herbivores or rival predators. But it also means they might catch an opponent off guard who expects the fight to be over, only for these crazed V-Rex to ambush them and keep the fight going. We are now ready to reveal which of these—
There you go. Now it's red. Okay. So the X Factor is like for the V-Rex, it's like they're in always competition and they're hyper aggressive, so low key they just don't know to quit and they're gonna keep on coming towards you, like a Tigrex. Carnotaurus, it's like overall they're like very, how do I say, they're competent. Carnotauruses are competent in the Disney universe. In the Disney universe, in the Disney expanded universe,
megatheropods will walk out of a fight to—
So who do we, or anyone want to change their thing before the fight starts? I still got Carnotaurus. Yes, V-Rex has, here's the thing, V-Rex might have technically more points on the screen, but you have to keep in mind that the points, a lot of the points, I think like 2 points, that V-Rex had over Carnotaurus was not by that much. Weight, barely a bit heavier. Bite effectiveness, barely a little bit more. So, in all reality, this is still way closer. So, I'm willing to say Carnotaurus. No, I still got V-Rex taking it high div. Carnotaurus mid div. Still got Carno, but I wouldn't be too mad if it lost. I would be mad. Bro, don't fucking do my childhood dinosaur like that.
the death. Carnotaurus robustus floridana wins the—
Spottable, it's not that serious. It's literally that serious.
edge in speed, intelligence, and auxiliary weapons. The Statosaurus Rex wins the edge in size, agility, senses, and bite effectiveness. Both creatures have similar amounts of armor, but arranged differently. Today's fight will take place in neutral ground, a vast open field with foliage and some dense cover. Terrain both animals are familiar with and identify as prime hunting grounds. The stage is set, the combatants ready. Coming up, the Statosaurus Rex versus Carnotaurus robustus floridana.
The following simulations are an encounter between two highly competent apex predators contesting for hunting territory. Okay. Note that real-world encounters like this usually conclude with the retreat of one of the combatants. In a fictional realm, however, this is not the case. Yeah, that kind of goes for, like, my monster versus matchups. Like, normally they would not just, like... Or normally they would just kind of leave each other alone after occurring certain damage. But fuck it, I want them to kill each other. I'm sure watching this after the storyboard means nothing. Yeah, it means absolutely nothing. By the way, do you think Nil will be able to do something on this level, given enough time? This doesn't seem too crazy. Although Nil did explain to me, like, animation a bit, and he showed me certain screenshots, and I'm like, holy fuck, that looks like a lot. To make it look good, it's a lot. On his own, not really. Really? You don't think... Maybe I'm glazing him a bit too much. I'm not sure. I think he could. Or I think he would like to. Damn! Come on, Carnotaurus, come on! Uh-oh. 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 Carno, he's behind you! Oh my god, he needs glasses. Oh my god, he needs glasses. Oh, snap! Alright, get to it. Yes, sir! Okay, come on. Come on. Good smack. It's all over my screen. Good. Oh, no! No! You got it! You're protected! Bite him back! Bite him back! Yes! Stab him! Oh no, he's enraged. He's got agitator on. Smack! Good job. Bite him! No! What are you doing? You're selling! You're selling! Oh fuck, tumble. You're okay? Get up. You're okay? Get up. Oh my god, you're fine. You're fine. Get up! No! Get up! Relocate. I got the tail again. Stop grabbing the tail! Oh, good one! Stabbed him right in the fucking neck. Yeah! Did you just ram yourself into his fucking horn, you dumbass? Yes! Bite him! Strangle him! You got this! Good, 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 good bite, good bite. Ram your horns into his stomach! It's not protected! Oh, okay. Final clash. Yes! Oh, shit! shit! The force gonna knock you over. Yes! But you got him! Bite him! Yes! Yes! He's weak! He's clumsy! He's goofy! No! You're okay! You're fine! Tough it! Hug it out! Okay, you fell on him? Good job. Now bite him. Now bite him. Bite him. Double tap. Okay, emote. Yes! Yes! That's my boy. That's my big boy right there. Flip him over. Soft belly. Don't stop. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Fight his feet. Yes! Yes! Barbecue chicken! Bitch, stop hitting me! Just die! Alright, yeah, just let him bleed out. He's dead. Just let him die. Just let him bleed out. Okay, that's a little bit sad. What I'm fucking talking about, baby! I've been waiting for. Woo! Yeah, baby! I always had confidence in you.
In this
Yes! The fucking GOAT! I call bullshit. I call it being realistic. That guy was gonna win. That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the GOAT. V-Rex still tanked too much? I'm not gonna lie. The V-Rex was fucking giving Tigrex levels of just, like, ignorance. That man was just like, I can't quit. Alright, let's hear the conclusion.
battle simulation and long slugfest, it was the Floridian champion who managed to
The Floridian champion. That's what I'd like to hear. Carnotaurus is from Florida. It was obvious he was going to win. It was very obvious. It was very clear he was going to win. You're from Skull Island? Bitch, he's from Florida. Get your body weight, pussy.
survive this fight. But this was thanks to a few factors. Both were already pretty even in most categories, but in this particular fight with these builds...
Hold on. Let me guess. Auxiliary weaponry. His bite. Those are the only two that I could think of that are, like, really important. Maybe a third one, but auxiliary and bite is what I'm guessing.
Some things matter a bit more. The attributes that resulted in Carnotaurus being able to live another day were armor, the combination of speed and auxiliary weapons, but there's something else. While the V-Rex...
I will say, did you see that in the fight? The V-Rex literally just, like, ran and stabbed its own eye out. Like, stabbed itself with Carnotaurus's, like, eye, because it tried to, like, it tried to head bash him.
won the edge for bite effectiveness, Carnotaurus was not too far behind. Remember, it does not take maximum biting force to inflict lethal wounds to the opponent. Sometimes the amount of times you can inflict hits matters more. In this battle scenario, the encounter begins with both of these predators sensing each other. They know the other is lurking about, but in today's scenario, V-Rex manages to lock into Carno first. Attempting to use the cover of the forest to spring an ambush and avoiding getting spotted initially, the V-Rex was able to surprise the Carno. Its fast acceleration and speed left the V-Rex with a mouthful of tail. Being able to attack from both ends, the Carno reverses with a hit with his horns. Both of these animals are armored and are very close to the same weight. Their bites are capable of killing each other if hit on the right spot and long enough. Both are relatively agile, so it was inevitable for this fight to be a slugfest. Factors such as the ability for the Carnotaurus to aim low during its horn attacks and fending off the V-Rex with the tail helped the Carno fend off the V-Rex in conjunction with his armor.
I think the horns were like really like the horns were like a massive plus in this fight. Like a very big deal for this.
Tourists in their world were accustomed to extremely vast hunting grounds. There was plenty of room to share, so remaining here was going to be chaotic. V-Rex, on the other hand, was accustomed to tight spaces. Every inch of hunting real estate mattered, and seeing a rival species meant that letting it walk away alive was letting it come back to fight you again in the...
I'm not gonna lie, I got a little scared when this was happening right here. Got a little scared, but hey, I didn't think he was gonna lose. I always had hope. I got a little worried, but
future.
I didn't lose hope.
V-Rex was not done fighting. Carno, seeing that this creature was relentless, now has no other choice but to fight this one out. Furious, and seeing how this one can sometimes get a bit temperamental, Carno realizes that this fight needs to be finished. Both, accustomed to using their heads in combat, show the same behavior in the battle arena. Except the small surface area making contact with the V-Rex nearly costs him his eye. Each impact is painful despite having a thick skull of his own. Carno seizes the opportunity to press the attack. The quicker Carno leverages speed to make his own headbutts more powerful, enough to set up an opportunity to finally reach the relatively undefended underbelly of V-Rex, an area the Carno had already previously injured. V-Rex tries to end this one last time, despite suffering many wounds. The V-Rex needed to get a mouthful. However, the speed at which the Carno ran caused him to topple violently. However, the Ravager had already been ravaged greatly by slicing wounds and goring. Carnotaurus knows this, and it backs off knowing that it won. No need to risk life and limb for a finisher when the opponent is just as good as beat. V-Rex is left to die in this scenario from blood loss due to repeated injury from a versatile opponent. This was a very close fight on neutral ground. However, other scenarios and terrains could have played in favor of the other. Fights between similar builds tend to go one way or another. For today, however, the smallest nuances had to be taken into account.
I will say, in a more crowded arena, the V-Rex could have won this. In all the scenarios where we see them fighting, other than the cave, Carnotaurus mainly fights more in open field and stuff.
Today, the final verdict showed that versatility coupled with fast execution can grant victory.
That's what I'm fucking talking about, baby! Yes! Yes! T-Rex had wings. Oh my goodness. Is that fucking Tigrex? Tyrannosaurus Rex with wings. Behold. The Tigrex. This is what I'm talking about. This is why we do what we do, hunters. No, Spot. What are you talking about? Do we like this type of content, chat? Yeah, do we like it? What if Carnotaurus was in Monster Hunter? It'd be Peak. What monster do you hate with every fiber of your being? Crystal Beard. I thought you left? No, I didn't leave. You think it's Peak? Well, do I? I got a surprise for you then. I got a little bit of a surprise for you. Arthos and Rathian together is what hates the monster. Is there a single brute wyvern with no element? I mean, you could say... Does Duramboros have an element? Rodobon? Rodobon doesn't have an element. It has sleep. So, yes. Where do you think the Disney Carno would tier-wise in Monster Hunter? Bro's like... Bro would be like a... Well, I don't know. He'd probably be like a lesser Anjanath. Chris the Beard is valid, but I hated Chris the Beard as an idea of a deviant. Why Cygrax a flying wyvern? Because he can fly. I'm just kidding. I mean, he can fly in Old World, but wait, good question. Seregios or Najarala, who would win? I'm gonna say Seregios. I'm gonna say, me personally, I'm gonna say Seregios. I think he'd be a low tier menace right below Anjanath. Only flies in world when leaving pitfalls. Najarala would destroy Seregio's gang. No, he would not. Do not be so silly. Seregios versus Dalmadur, who wins? Seregios. Do not question my methods. Seregios. What was Dalmadur's PSI again? I think Volcano said like 1 billion. I think that's going to be it, Hunters. A Snake Tillion. Can we watch a Namiel fight? No. Seregios versus Nergigante, who would win? Seregios, no questions. Do not question me. I think we are basically good. Definitely have gone over the time limit. Well, definitely, yeah, we have. I mean, we have. Why no Namiel? Because it is time to leave. I am hungry and I gotta work on stuff. And it's already 6:44 for me, so I'd also like to go to the gym and stuff. You know, I'd like to work out. I would like to eat. I'd like to do a few things. Spot, what do you think about that one Brachydios versus Nergigante Turf War? Is that basically the same sense as the Legicris and Regine Turf War in terms of like canon and all that? Where it's like, it's not in an actual mainline game or anything, but it's like shown somewhere else. What do you think about that one Brachydios and Nergigante fight? I think it makes sense. Brachydios is like really strong. Brachydios as a monster is pretty fucking strong. I like it. I think it makes sense. So it works, so I cannot let the devil out yet. Adios, Spot. Have an amazing day. I mean, I am going to be leaving in 1 second, but there is one thing that I would like to do. Well, first off, let's do a quick little recap. I think this stream was good. It's a little bit on the shorter end. It's only been about 5.5 hours. But we power scaled Najarala completely. We got Dead Upon Mari coming into chat while we reacted to one of her videos. We then went to her live stream while she was there. She said she was very thankful for me watching. She thought it was really cool. It was very nice. Art gave her 20 bucks. That was cool. Then we did 2 story times, one with a snake and another with a spider. And then we did we reacted to a monster matchup video, which was basically just the dinosaur matchup video. Overall, I think today's stream was good. I also did so much math today. I did mine as much as I could. The half I saw was good. Who do you like more, Brekkie or Raging Brekkidios? I like Raging Brekkidios more. How about the angriest Brekkidios? I think they are still pretty good. Now that we did a quick little overview, there is something I would like for you guys to do. So, you guys got 2 options. Since I'm going to be leaving, you guys have 2 options. I can either leave you guys here with Crystal, friend of the show, and she's right now playing Warframe, or I can leave you with Dead Upon Mari because she's apparently still alive.
Monsters are just attacking them.
Yeah, this game
and
has
stuff like that, right? So that's the
There you
reason why they keep watch of the Chikawalins in case they turn into monsters, so they can, you know, put them down. Budget Dante,
You know, oh shit, it's Dante. Yo, look at it, it's fucking Dante. I think she was explaining some lore stuff or some story stuff. Back to Mellow, my baby. So you guys got 2 options right now. You can go to Mari. She's still here. You should go to both, if I'm being honest. Have both of them tabs open like this. Or you can go to Crystal. But we got 2 people who are live who I can send you guys off to. But I can't really, because you can't really raid on YouTube. So I can't really do that. I can just give you guys like a direction to go to. By the way, it's muted. Don't worry. It's not like she's not
in
talking.
this world. And the thing with
Also, not gonna lie, like her fit. I like her fit. I like it. So, Dead Upon Mari. You can just type this in right here. Or you can go to my latest video, and I have the link to her channel in the description. Crystal Dragon on Twitch. That's Crystal, but the A's are 4s instead. Check them out. Because I gotta skedaddle. Because I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I gotta work on a video. Another video. I'm technically working on 2 videos. So I gotta work on another video right now. And I gotta go to the gym. Wednesday will most likely be Minecraft. I'm thinking about adding an extra add-on. Which for all of you who don't know, that's basically a mod for Bedrock. And it looks cool, so I think I'm gonna add it. Looks nice. The Viper add-on. Are you gonna do anything for 20k subs? I will be doing something for 20k subs. Yes. And depending on if you are a certain person, that's very vague. Considering if you are, let's say, a YouTuber or not, it could be very beneficial to you or not. So, with that being said, thank you all so much for being here and watching. Great stream. Go check out Dead Upon Mari and Crystal. Great stream. See you guys on Wednesday. Fuck, I'm so hungry. It's so crazy too because I already ate. I literally ate before coming onto the stream. But we need that JCan collab. I have a video in mind that may or may not include JCan. But yeah, thank you all so much for being here. Everyone, go check them all out. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next stream, which is Wednesday. Again, Minecraft. Take care. Bye bye. you power scale Najarala, but did you power scale Hyper Najarala? I did not power scale Tidal or Hyper. No. I'll probably be playing Wild with a friend of mine later tonight. Prepare for Master Rank. I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye, Slick. Bye, everyone.